What's up everyone, and welcome back to another video of mine. If you don't know me, my name is Michael, or my friends call me Migo, and we are still here in Scotland. Today we're driving from Inverness to the Isle of Skye, and along the way we pass Loch Ness, which looks like this. And now we're at the castle of Highland Cow. I like to say Highland Donut in a few outtakes, but it's Highland Cow. And we just quickly stopped here, and this castle looks like this. How cool do these castles look? And they're literally almost everywhere here in Scotland. It feels like every 5 minutes you see a new castle, and it's just so incredibly beautiful together with this untouched nature you see here all the time. And on top of that, we've been so lucky with the weather we have had since we arrived here in Scotland, and most of the locals, some of them actually told me that this is the longest period of good weather in a summer for the past 22 years. Today we've reached the peak temperature was actually 31 degrees, and now, after not seeing the Loch Ness monster, we're going on our way to the Isle of Skye, where we're gonna meet up with a local guide who's gonna show us some hidden spots that most of the tourists definitely won't see. So I would say let's jump in the car and let's head on our way. Okay, so we're now in Portree, and I'm a little bit sunburned from the Scottish sun, can you imagine? We're gonna now meet our local guide on the market square, and I don't actually know what we're gonna do together, but I'm excited. So we head over there, it's right over there, and then we'll see. I'm gonna introduce him. So we're at the market square now. Seems like we're here before him. So we're just gonna wait. I'm sure he's here in a few minutes.
Hi! How you doing, man?
How are you?
Good to meet you.
Yeah,
nice to meet you.
Hi,
Svenja.
Sonia,
How
nice
you
to
doing?
meet you.
I'm David.
Great.
We'll meet a couple of people. Anna?
Yes.
Yes.
I can spot a tourist from a mile away. My mum's Glaswegian and my dad's from Skye.
Okay, cool.
So that's it. Both Glasgow and Skye. Oh, there's going to be Highland Cows, and these guys confirmed the sighting earlier on today.
Oh, okay.
Confirmed the sighting of Highland Cow. I just don't know how close they're going to be to our fence. No, I mean, the other day I went in to get a really closer look with a couple of tourists.
Yeah.
And he was just kind of camera shy.
Okay.
He wasn't like aggressive or anything like that. You heard of the Highland Games?
Yep.
Out of it, yeah.
This is where our Highland Games are held.
Oh.
So the Highland Games are basically like a Scottish version of like a strongman competition. They're really popular up here. You need to be kind of really big, proper big guys waddle up the hill and kilt. Yeah, the Highland Games are held down here. So everybody kind of gathers around like a kind of amphitheatre kind of thing.
Okay.
And the most famous sport is called Tossing the Caber. And to give you an idea, have you guys heard of Tossing the Caber? So you see that tree stump there?
Yeah.
It's just kind of standing on itself, by itself. You can imagine that tree stump, but a lot straighter, very straight. The idea is the guy will pick it up from the bottom. It's now above his head. He has to balance it and throw it and topple it end over end, and whoever gets it the furthest, he wins.
Wow.
And then there's other stuff like, you know, throwing the hammer and weight over the bar, so that they're standing and they throw over this bar. So not very sophisticated. We're not a sophisticated bunch.
A little bit similar to strongman.
Very like strongmen. Yeah. And I like to tell people, I don't know if you guys know that we had a bit of trouble with the English over the years. Well, that started roughly, the Highland Games really started roughly when we were disarmed by the Brits.
Okay.
So we had all this tension, so we thought, right, okay, well, let's just throw some stuff around. Highland Games. Scotland is actually rising, and England is sinking. Literally and metaphorically. Alright, let's go. Hadrians Wall. You heard of Hadrians Wall? Which is a wall built by the Romans between Scotland and England, although it's not quite the border, it's further south. You know, and Scotland were known as like barbarians. So, you know, the wildling, maybe, I don't know.
Oh yeah.
But they were pagans or druids. So they kind of believed in fairies. They would have had perhaps like witches would heal you if you were ill. So that's where a lot of our kind of fairy stories, fairy pools, fairy glen and stuff comes from that period. Then in 100 AD they built Hadrian's Wall, and this is where we start to kind of get an idea of what the Scots were like. They were known as Picts. And Hadrian's Wall was built by the Romans, who were increasing their empire across Europe. And they got to the north of England and they kind of took control of that, but they never got control of Scotland. And there's a quote from this commander who was building the wall, and he said, "We're building this wall to keep the Romans separate from the barbarians and to keep the Roman Empire intact."
So right now we're here at the Scotty Falls, and he said if fairy lived in Isle of Skye, they would probably live around here. And you can see there's a swing. So if we were wearing swimming trunks right now, we could swing into the water here, because actually it's quite deep in there.
When I look in your eyes, we're still young, we're still free, and we're out of our mind. And now we've let our worlds collide. This life is ours, it starts tonight. And don't you feel alone, my God, you're only half the world away, my love. Wherever you are, wherever you go, always watch the stars unfold. I love you more than you can know.
So we're now in a field where there are Highland cows, and obviously we try to not scare them away, but try to kind of sneak our way close to them so they don't get scared, but we still see something of them.
A few moments later.
We don't know if they're dangerous.
No,
Their horns, they look pretty dangerous. If they attack us, this is the last. You won't see this vlog because we're gonna be dead.
He is fearless. Okay.
Oh, he's signaling us to come back.
Okay, we're retreating because he was definitely going into a position of protecting the little calves, and so we now want to leave them in peace. So we're retreating, and we go our way and they go their way. But
They're so
I feel
majestic.
like we had a moment.
You
There
feel
was-
like
We
they
had
do.
a moment. Am I the cheap version of William Wallace?
But they'll never take our freedom!
Very cheap. But I got the right angle here.
I'm missing the kilt.
Okay, let's go. Oh,
You
okay.
filming?
Yeah, I'm filming.
Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed this tour together with David. He's been a great tour guide and he showed us so many sights in Portree that we would not have seen without him. And he's also a great singer. Following his dream, he's super inspiring. Where can I find you?
Portree Tours for the tour. PortreeTours.com, and also on Instagram, discover Portree.
Perfect. So let's call it a day, and we're gonna enjoy some great whiskey and some live music in there now, and we see each other in the next video.
Bye.
Thank you so much.